Red Dead Online, a multiplayer experience with so much potential. Potential that was ultimately cannibalized by the success that was, and still, almost 10 years after its initial release, is Rockstar and Take-Two's absolute juggernaut known as Grand Theft Auto Online. I'm sure at the very least you've all heard that a few days ago Rockstar officially announced that Red Dead Online will no longer be receiving any major content updates, claiming with the primary reason behind this is them wanting to shift their focus to their next big game, that being Grand Theft Auto 6, and they want all hands on deck to surpass players' expectations in every way imaginable. A valid reason, and a reason that was an attempt to help all the Red Dead Online fans to at the very least be able to find comfort in their game quote-unquote dying for the development of something greater down the road. Personally speaking, I felt as if Rockstar never really gave the online experience of this game the support it needed to properly grow. And that's a shame considering the foundation of Red Dead Redemption 2 stands incredibly well on its own. The world is undoubtedly one of the most detailed ever created, from the wildlife, the random encounters in single player, NPCs remembering crimes you committed and commenting on the blood stain deep within your clothes, the details in your weapons, the ammunition used, and of course you having to maintain your guns and ensure that they're in great operational condition. The world and its systems are solid, and the game, financially speaking, was also a massive success, generating over $700 million in revenue in just 3 days of its launch, a figure only second to Grand Theft Auto 5, with that game generating an insane $1 billion in its first 3 days. So if we're dealing with a game that is financially successful, has a vast, interesting open world with intelligent and amusing NPC encounters that are just begging for immersive interactions, and let's not forget the added experience Rockstar has accumulated with running Grand Theft Auto Online, its enormous ecosystem and giant player diversity, why would this experience not be something that, in the worst case scenario for a development team that has nailed their game's worlds back to back, be capable of lasting on its own? I suppose you could also counter argue that when you have something going on that's generated over $6 billion in revenue, is it really worth the risk to invest resources into another online world? What players could perceive as fun and what the world could offer in terms of things to do and buy, thematically speaking, may have been a little too limited in their eyes. And seeing how after the beta for Red Dead Online ended all the way back in December of 2018, Rockstar wasted absolutely no time in implementing microtransactions in the form of gold bars. And they did this before even having a solid playlist of things to do. Maybe this was them saying beta numbers were lower than expected and let's milk this for as long as we can, or maybe it was just something they threw on life support, ignorantly hoping it'll take off like its GTA predecessor and start paying dividends before allocating major resources to satisfy that hungry audience. I think this game always had potential to be great. Grand Theft Auto Online status? A few years ago I would have said no, absolutely no way, simply because RDR seems more grounded than Grand Theft Auto, but seeing GTA Online go a little bit more sci-fi with its approach in terms of vehicles and even weapons, if we were to say the online space is completely separate from the single player games, then I definitely think Red Dead Online could have took on Grand Theft Auto, and Rockstar could have had two massive moneymakers concurrently going on their hands. But that level of success may have come at a major cost. We may not see any entry to the Red Dead or even the Grand Theft Auto series for an even longer period of time. Again, why do that when you now have two major revenue incomes without having to invest that insane level of resources? But let me know what you think. Could Red Dead Online have been saved, or was it doomed from the start? Was it something that Rockstar really never had faith, or was it just a victim of the circumstance from Grand Theft Auto Online being massively successful, player numbers in Red Dead Online just not being there, and the amount of manpower needed to really bring Red Dead Online back to what they want it to be just being too high of a cost that they're willing to pay?